Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve bihi nesta'in. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Vessalatu vesselamu ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecma'in.
In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, and from Him do we seek help. All praise be to Allah, the Sustainer of all the worlds, and blessings and peace be upon our Master Muhammad, and on all his family and companions. Third mystery. What makes this boundless universe rejoice is observedly divine mercy. And what illuminates these dark beings is self-evidently divine mercy. And what fosters and raises creatures struggling with their endless needs is clearly, again, divine mercy. And what causes the whole universe to be turned towards man, like a tree together with all its parts is turned towards its fruit, and causes it everywhere to look to him and to run to his assistance, is self-evidently divine mercy. And what fills and illuminates boundless space and the empty, vacant world, and makes it rejoice, is self-evidently divine mercy. And what designates ephemeral man for eternity, and makes him the addressee and beloved of a pre-eternal and post-eternal one, is self-evidently divine mercy. O man, since divine mercy is such a powerful, inviting, sweet, assisting, lovable truth, say, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, adhere to this truth and be saved from absolute desolation and the pains of unending needs. Draw close to the throne of the pre-eternal and post-eternal monarch, and through the compassion and rays of divine mercy, become the addressee, friend and beloved of that monarch. To gather with wisdom around man the realms of beings in the universe, and to make them hasten to meet all his needs in complete orderliness, as a pure favour is clearly one of two situations. Either each realm of beings in the universe itself knows man, obeys him, and runs to help him, which just as it is completely irrational, is also impossible in many respects. Or an absolutely impotent being like man has to possess the power of the mightiest absolute sovereign, or this assistance occurs through the knowledge of an absolutely powerful one behind the veil of the universe. That is to say, it is not that the different beings in the universe know man, but that they are evidences of a knowing, compassionate one being acquainted with him and knowing him. O man, come to your senses. Is it at all possible that the all-glorious one, who causes all the varieties of creatures to turn towards you and stretch out their hands to assist you, and causes them to say, "Here we are," in the face of your needs, is it possible that he does not know you, is not acquainted with you, does not see you? Since he does know you, he informs you that he knows you through his mercy, so you know him too, and with respect let him know that you know him, and understand with certainty that what subjugates the vast universe to be absolutely weak, absolutely impotent, absolutely needy, ephemeral, insignificant creature like you, and dispatches it to assist you, is the truth of divine mercy, which comprises wisdom, favour, knowledge and power. Most certainly, a mercy such as this requires universal and sincere thanks, and earnest and genuine respect. Therefore say, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, which is the interpreter and expression of such sincere thanks and genuine respect. Make it the means of attaining to the mercy and an intercessor at the court of the All-Merciful One. The existence and reality of divine mercy is as clear as the sun. For just as a woven tapestry, centred on one point, is formed by the order and situation of the threads of its warp and weft coming from all directions, so too the luminous threads extending from the manifestation of 1,001 divine names in the vast sphere of the universe weave such a seal of compassionateness, tapestry of clemency, and seal of benevolence within a stamp of mercy, that it demonstrates itself to minds more brilliantly than the sun. The beauteous, all-merciful one, who orders the sun and moon, the elements and minerals, and plants and animals, like the warp and weft of a vast woven tapestry through the rays of his 1,001 names, and causes them to serve life, and demonstrates his compassion through the exceedingly sweet and self-sacrificing compassion of all mothers, plant and animal, and subjugates animate creatures to human life, and from this demonstrates man's importance, and a most fine and lovely large tapestry of divine dominicality, and manifests his most brilliant mercy, has, in the face of his own absolute lack of need, made his mercy an acceptable intercessor for animate creatures and man. O man, if you are truly a human being, say, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, find that intercessor. It is clearly, self-evidently, divine mercy which, without forgetting or confusing any of them, raises, nurtures, and administers the 400,000 different plant and animal species on the earth at precisely the right time, and with perfect order, wisdom, and beneficence, and stamps the seal of divine oneness on the face of the globe. And just as the existence of divine mercy is as certain as the existence of the beings on the face of the earth, so do the beings form as many evidences to its reality as their own number. As on the face of the earth there is such a seal of mercy and stamp of divine oneness, so on the face of man's nature is a stamp of divine mercy that is not inferior to the stamp of compassion and vast seal of mercy on the face of the universe. Simply, man possesses a comprehensiveness whereby he is a point of focus of the manifestation of 1,001 divine names. O man, is it at all possible that one who gives you this face, and places such a stamp of mercy and seal of oneness on it, would leave you to your own devices, attach no importance to you, pay no attention to your actions, make the whole universe which is turned towards you futile and pointless, and make the tree of creation rotten and insignificant with decayed fruit? Would he cause to be denied his mercy, which is as obvious as the sun, and his wisdom, which is as clear as light, neither of which can in any way be doubted, nor are in any way deficient? Allah forbid. O man, you should know that there is a way to ascend to the throne of divine mercy, and that is, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate. If you want to understand the importance of this way of ascent, look at the beginning of the 114 chapters of the Qur'an of miraculous exposition, and at the beginning of all estimable books, at the start of all good works. A clear proof of the Allah-determined grandeur of "in the name of Allah" is that one of the very foremost Islamic scholars, Imam Shafi, may Allah be pleased with him, said, although "in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate" is one verse, it was revealed 114 times in the Qur'an. Fourth mystery, to declare,
إياك نعبد.
You alone do we worship, in the face of the manifestation of divine unity, within boundless multiplicity is not sufficient for everyone. The mind wanders. It is necessary to possess a heart as broad as the earth in order to observe the unique, the single one behind the unity in the totality of beings, and to say,
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
You alone do we worship, and from you alone do we seek help. As a consequence of this, so that the seal of divine oneness should be apparent on all species and realms of beings, just as it is shown clearly on individual objects, and that they should call to mind the unique and single one, it is shown within the stamp of divine mercy. Thus everyone, at every level, may turn to the most pure and holy one, and saying,
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
You alone do we worship, and from you alone do we seek help. Address him directly. It is in order to express this mighty mystery, and clearly point out the seal of divine mercy, that the all-wise Qur'an suddenly mentions the smallest sphere and most particular matter when describing the vastest sphere of the universe. For example, the creation of the heavens and the earth, and so that the mind does not wander, nor the heart drown, and the spirit may find directly its true object of worship. It opens the subject of man's creation and man's voice, and the subtle details of the bounties and wisdom in his features. For example, while mentioning the creation of the heavens and earth, the verse,
ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم.
And among his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the variations in your languages and in your colours, demonstrates this truth in miraculous fashion. Within innumerable creatures and infinite multiplicity, there are sorts and degrees of stamps of divine unity, like concentric circles from the greatest stamp to the smallest. But however clear that unity is, it is still a unity within multiplicity. It cannot truly address observers. It is because of this, so that the unity does not call to mind multiplicity, that there has to be the stamp of divine oneness behind unity, and directly before the most pure and holy one, a way be opened up to the heart. Furthermore, in order to direct gazers towards the stamp of divine oneness and attract hearts to it, a most captivating design, shining light, agreeable sweetness, pleasing beauty, and powerful truth, which is the stamp of divine mercy and seal of divine compassion, has been placed on it. It is the strength of that mercy which attracts the gazes of conscious beings, draws them to it, and causes them to reach the seal of oneness, and to observe the unique and single one, and from that to manifest the true address in
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
You alone do we worship, and from you alone do we seek help. Thus, it is through, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, being the index of the Surah Al-Fatiha, and a concise summary of the Qur'an, that it is the sign and interpreter of this mighty mystery. One who acquires this sign may travel through the levels of divine mercy, and one who causes this interpreter to speak may learn the mysteries of divine mercy and see the lights of divine compassion and pity. The fifth mystery. There is a hadith which goes something like this.
إن الله خلق الإنسان على صورة الرحمن.
Allah created man in the form of the All-Merciful One. It has been interpreted by some Sufis in an extraordinary way, inappropriate to the tenets of belief. Some of them, who were ecstatics, even considered man's spiritual nature to be in the form of the All-Merciful. Since ecstatics are mostly immersed in contemplation and confused. They are perhaps to be excused in holding views contrary to reality. But on consideration, those in their senses cannot accept any of their ideas that are contrary to the fundamentals of belief. If they do, they are in error. Indeed, the most pure and holy deity, who administers with order the whole universe as though it was a palace or house, and spins the stars as though they were particles, and causes them to travel through space with wisdom and ease, and employs minute particles as though they were orderly officials, has no partner, match, opposite or equal. So also according to the meaning of the verse,
لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ.
There is nothing whatever like unto him, and he hears and sees all things. He has no form, like or peer. There is nothing similar to or resembling him. However, according to the meaning and manner of comparison of the following verse,
وَلَهُ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ.
and his is the highest similitude in the heavens and the earth, and he is exalted in might, full of wisdom. His actions, attributes and names may be considered. That is to say, allegory and comparison may be applied in regards to actions. One aim of the above-mentioned hadith is as follows. Man is in a form showing the divine name of All-Merciful in its entirety. As we explained before, just as the divine name of All-Merciful is manifested through the rays of 1,001 names on the face of the universe, and is apparent through the innumerable manifestations of Allah's absolute dominicality on the face of the earth, so is the complete manifestation of the name All-Merciful apparent in a small measure in man's comprehensive form, like on the face of the earth and face of the universe. A further indication is this: the evidences of the necessarily existent one, of places of manifestation, like animate creatures and man, who are proofs of and mirrors to the All-Merciful and Compassionate One, are so certain, clear and obvious, that just as it may be said of a shining mirror, which reflects the image of the sun, that mirror is the sun, indicating the clarity of its brilliance and evidence. So it has been said, and may be said, man is in the form of the All-Merciful One, indicating the clearness of his evidence and completeness of his connection. It is as a consequence of this mystery that the more moderate of those who believed in the unity of existence said, "There is no existent but He," as a way of expressing the clarity of this evidence and perfection of the connection.
Allahumma ya Rahman ya Rahim bihaqq bismillahir rahmanir rahim irhamna kema yeliku birrahimiyetike ve fehhimna esrara bismillahirrahmanirrahim kema yeliku birrahmaniyetike. Amin.
O Allah, O most merciful, most compassionate, through the truth of, in the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate, have mercy on us as befits your compassionateness, and allow us to understand the mysteries of, in the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate, as befits your mercifulness. Amen. Sixth mystery. O unhappy man, struggling within a boundless impotence and endless want, you should understand just what a valuable means and acceptable intercessor is divine mercy. For it is the means to an all-glorious sovereign, in whose army both the stars and minute particles serve together in perfect order and obedience. And that all-glorious one, the sovereign of pre-eternity and post-eternity, is self-sufficient. He is utterly without need. He is rich without limit, being in no respect needy of the universe and beings. The whole universe is under his command and direction, utterly obedient beneath his majesty and grandeur, submissive before his sublimity. That is divine mercy for you, O man. It raises you to the presence of the one absolutely lacking any need, the eternal sovereign, and makes you his friend, addressee, and well-loved servant. But just as you cannot reach the sun, are far from it, and can no way draw close to it, although the sun's light gives you its reflection and manifestation by means of your mirror, in the same way you are infinitely distant from the most pure and holy one, the Son of pre-eternity and post-eternity, and cannot draw close to him. But the light of his mercy makes him closer to us. And so, O man, the one who finds this mercy finds an eternal unfailing treasury of light. And the way to find it is through following the practices of Allah's noble messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, who was the most brilliant example and representative of mercy, its most eloquent tongue and herald, and was described in the Qur'an as a mercy to all the worlds. The means to this embodiment of mercy, who is a mercy to all the worlds, is to utter the prayer calling down Allah's blessings upon him. Yes, the meaning of this prayer is mercy. As a prayer of mercy for that living embodiment of divine mercy, it is the means of reaching the mercy to all the worlds. So make this prayer the means to the mercy to all the worlds for yourself, and at the same time make him the means to the mercy of the most merciful one. The whole Muslim community, in all their great numbers, uttering this prayer, which is synonymous with mercy, for the mercy to all the worlds, proves in brilliant fashion what a valuable divine gift is divine mercy, and how broad is its sphere. To conclude, just as the most precious jewel in the treasury of mercy and its doorkeeper is the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, so is its first key, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, while its easiest key is the prayer for the Prophet.
Allahümme bihakkı esrari bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salli ve sellim ala men erseltehu rahmeten lil alemin. Kema yeliku bi rahmetike ve bi hurmetihi ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ecmain. Verhamna rahmeten tunina biha an rahmeti men sivake min halguk. Amin. Subhaneke la ilme lena illa ma allamtana. Inneke entel alimul hakim.
O Allah, through the truth of, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, grant blessings and peace to the one whom you sent us as a mercy to all the worlds as befits your mercy, and in veneration of him, and to all his family and companions, and grant us mercy, so as to make us free of want for the mercy of any other than you, from among your creatures. Amen. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you have taught us. Indeed, you are all-knowing, all-wise.